So, guys, today I want you to do a presentation about globalization with advantages and disadvantages and apply them to context. I'll give you 3 lessons. You may start now.
So what is globalization?
I know. Globalization is like civilization, but in a global level.
No, Palma. Globalization is the increase of multinational companies around the world.
That's what I said.
Yes, so globalization is when companies expand to other countries and there are no international barriers to restrain them. For instance, these multinational companies that operate outside the local country. Burger King, McDonald's, Apple Incorporations, Nike, Pizza Hut, Wii, Sony, and Mazda.
Yeah, right. So, what are the advantages of globalization?
Some advantages of globalization can be free trade between countries. This could lead to an improvement in the relationship between countries.
Free trade is also associated with integration because this causes the countries to come together, which results in globalization.
Exactly. So, also corporations have greater flexibility to operate across borders. Global mass media ties the world together, and the increased flow of communications allows vital information to be shared between individuals and corporations around the world.
This leads to an increase in productivity because countries share ideas. An increase in productivity can also lead to better life standards for people.
What about capital liquidity?
Yes, capital liquidity also increases. This is when other countries can invest and develop in other developing countries. Example, the USA in El Salvador.
Globalization also leads to an increase in multinational corporations. This is when a business expands to another country in the world than its original setup, just like Sarah mentioned before with McDonald's, Burger King, etc.
Infrastructure increases because of globalization. This means that people can travel more easily between one country and another.
One of the most important advantages is the increase in environmental protection.
And don't forget that there is also technological progress, more product diversity and market diversity.
But increase in technology can also be a disadvantage because it leads to unemployment as machines can take jobs from workers that have been loyal to the company.
Yes, and also cultures get lost because companies that come to a new country bring new habits, and therefore culture from the people is lost as they adopt the new habits from the foreign businesses.
There can be an uneven distribution of wealth, like the USA and El Salvador. El Salvador clearly has a lower GDP than the USA. This is because the USA gets more benefits from the relation between them. El Salvador is small and really dependent in the USA. It can't really complain.
Also, competition increases between businesses, which can be good for the customers, but bad for companies because they have to now compete on a global level. So the smaller local companies will be badly affected as bigger companies will take over.
We can say that the increase of spread of diseases in other countries is also a disadvantage.
So in the end, is globalization a good thing?
Yes, because it brings countries together.
Right, and it brings more advantages than disadvantages to the world.
Thank you.
Yeah, guys, so right, I really liked your presentation, and I think you're getting a 10 in this project. I have a little surprise to you. Do you know the Kitty Pong? Mr. Quijano showed it to me.
Nena bonita, me presento mala mía. Ella y Flow, Fornar y compañía. Dos empresarios con su música.